Scope Media. Today we have brought an interesting sports topic to talk about, and everyone is quite a little bit familiar about it. Today we are going to talk about the Olympics, Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, the three of the largest sporting events in the world, and know the differences between them and know each features. Well, even though many people hold the Olympics, the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games all at the same level, these large-scale sporting events of the world are all different from each other. The Olympics is a sporting competition for the countries that sign the Olympic Charter for the fair sports. This one covers mostly the entire world. Whereas the Commonwealth Games is competition for the countries originally under the British rule throughout the world. The only countries that do not participate, though they fall under this umbrella, are the United States and Canada. The Asian Games is a regional sporting championship for the countries within the continent of Asia. Well, now starting with Olympics, let's first know a little bit facts about Olympics. The Olympics Games started in 7076 BC on Mount Olympia in honor of Greek god Zeus. The modern Olympic Games were started in Athens, the capital of Greece, on April 6, 1896, thanks to the efforts of French nobleman Baron Pierre de Coubertin. The Olympic Games are organized once every 4 years. The Olympic flag is made up of white silk and contains 5 intertwined rings as the Olympic emblem, which denotes the 5 major continents apart from Antarctica. The 5 interlaced rings are arranged in 3:2 pattern on a white background with a blue ring on the extreme left, followed by yellow, black, green and red in the same order. Blue for Europe, black for Africa, red for America, both North and South, yellow for Asia and green for Oceania, which includes Australia and New Zealand. The official Olympic motto is Citus Altius Fortius, a Latin phrase meaning swifter, higher, stronger. The 2024 Summer Olympic will be held in Paris, France. Now let's move on and know a little bit facts about Commonwealth Games. The first Commonwealth Games were held in 1930 in Hamilton, Canada. Since 1930, the Games have been conducted once every 4 years except for 1942 and 1946 due to the World War II. The Commonwealth Games Federation is the organization responsible for direction and control of the Commonwealth Games. There are currently 53 members in the Commonwealth of Nations. The 2018 Commonwealth Games were held as Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. The most gold medals were won by Australia. The 2022 Commonwealth Games will be held in Birmingham, England. Now let's move on and know a little bit facts about Asian Games. The first Asian Games were held in 1951 in New Delhi, India. The Asian Games, also called the Asiad, are the multi-sport event held once every 4 years among the athletes from all over Asia. The Games are regulated by the Olympic Council of Asia under the supervision of the International Olympic Committee. The Asian Games symbol is a bright sun in red with 16 rays and a white circle in the middle of its disc, which represents the ever-glimmering and warm spirit of the Asian people. The 18th Asian Games of the 2018 were held at Jakarta, Indonesia, in which India finished at 8th position. Well, the next game is scheduled to be held in Hangzhou, China in 2022. Well, now since we have known the facts, let's know what makes the difference between Commonwealth Games and the Olympics. While our athletes score goal after goal, let us clear the cobwebs of the confusions by delving into the difference between the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games. Both take place once in 4 years but carry a different history and criteria. The Commonwealth Games and the Olympic Games are international sports events. They consist of the multiple games played by the athletes of the participant nations. Well, the Commonwealth Games are held for the countries that had British colonization. For Olympics, all the countries are invited as participants. Now let's first know about the Commonwealth Games more. The Commonwealth Games is the third largest international multi-game event after the Olympic Games and the Asian Games. The headquarters is located in London, England. The first Commonwealth Games, as we know, were held in the first British Empire Games in 1930 in Hamilton, Canada. This game was at first proposed by Reverend Astley Cooper in 1891. Cooper represented an article in the Times newspaper suggesting a pan-Britannic, pan-Anglican contest and festival every 4 years as a means of increasing the goodwill and good understanding of the British Empire. Well, total 11 countries sent around 400 athletes to take part in the games. 59 events of the 6 sports were conducted during 1930 Commonwealth Games. From 1930 to 1950, the games were known as the British Empire Games. The Commonwealth Games are conducted once in every 4 years except in 1942 and 1946, as we know, because of the World War II. From 1970 to 1974, they took on the title of British Commonwealth Games, and it was in the year 1978 that the games in the Edmonton saw the event change its name to Commonwealth Games. The city of Hamilton in Ontario, Canada helped cover the traveling cost for the visiting athletes from other nations by providing $30,000 USD. A trophy in the form of silver cup was presented to the winning country, which was Canada itself. The duration of the Commonwealth Games is around 10 days. Lawn ball, netball, squash, 10-pin bowling are the Commonwealth Games sports that are never played in Olympics. Meanwhile, if we take a look at Olympics, the Olympics Games are headed by International Olympic Committee IOC, which is headquartered in Lausanne, Switzerland. The first modern Olympics were held in Athens, Greece in 1896. 206 countries are member countries in the International Olympic Committee. Olympics consisted of 2 types of games, Winter Games and the Summer Games. Well, these Winter and Summer Games are conducted alternatively as 2 parts of an Olympic session. So the duration between the Winter Games and the Summer Games is 2 years. Olympics is played for approximately 17 days. Only 5 sports like athletics, cycling, fencing, gymnastics and swimming have been contested at every Summer Olympic Games in 1896. Well, in 2012 there were 26 sports contested, whereas in 2016 there were 28. In 2020, around 33 sports are scheduled, including other added sports like baseball and softball, which were removed in 2008. It also includes karate, roller sport, climbing, surfing, golf and rugby union. Well, this was all about the Commonwealth, Olympics and the Asian Games, the 3 of the largest sporting events in the world. Stay with us, we shall bring you more interesting topics to talk upon. This is Aparna Singh reporting for iScope Media.